talented Zennify and Salesforce team members that actually built this tool. It's their hard work that led to this moment today, and I'm honored to be representing them here today. At Zennify, I partner with financial institutions that are engaged in strategic digital transformation. And more specifically, I work within our banking practice. So my priorities align to banks and credit unions in the Northeast. One of those customers is FirstTrust. So FirstTrust is a commercial-focused institution based out of Pennsylvania with about $5 billion in assets. Now, even if you don't live on the North Coast, you probably recognize the logo if you're an NFL fan. The logo pops up on Sundays and Monday nights, and now even Thursday nights. So FirstTrust is the proud sponsor of the Philadelphia Eagles. And you'll see their logo sprinkled throughout Lincoln Financial Stadium on game day. I was first introduced to FirstTrust in late 2021 by my Salesforce counterpart, Justin Frimmel. Now, long before that time, FirstTrust had implemented Sales and Service Cloud at a time when Financial Services Cloud wasn't even available. So I'm guessing that there's probably some people in this crowd that can relate to what came next. You start to build some of that custom functionality to serve unmet business needs. And in the moment, they're perfect. They solve for that business need, but they grow in quantity, they grow in complexity, and eventually they become stale. So you ultimately have to have that succession planning of what's next in our future. And so FirstTrust partnered with Salesforce. They developed a really sound strategic plan for migrating over to Financial Services Cloud, and they built a really solid business case that really enhanced that recommendation. It ultimately aligned to the bank's broader digital strategic plans as well. And so FirstTrust decided that they were ready to migrate to Financial Services Cloud. I think if you were to ask them, they would boil it down to two pretty distinct points that were driving them in that direction. And one was, as Catherine mentioned, innovation. Let's face it, Financial Services Cloud is where all the good stuff lives. It's where there's householding, it's where there's centers of influence. We can manage that engagement. It's where institutions go in day out for operational efficiency and managing experiences. And so as they thought about that, and they think about the value associated with that, they couldn't help but recognize kind of the other piece of that, which is the opportunity to untangle some of their technical debt. Right? So they view this as a a shift and lift, not a lift and shift. And so as they view that, they really saw that the unwinding of the technical debt was something that was going to be an added benefit. So moving away from that really kind of gave them and steered them in the right direction to make that assessment. I think all of those 2 points can kind of stand alone on their own right. But I think you'd be remiss if you didn't also mention some of the other kind of key strategic impacts, right? So it was decreasing their Salesforce administration responsibilities. It also allowed them to more rapidly deliver enhancements as they came out down the road, and there was downstream net positive impacts to the rest of the Salesforce platform. So think about Marketing Cloud and Experience Cloud in their particular instance. But at the end of the day, FirstTrust, they had their destination in mind. And so Zennify and FirstTrust went to work. So as we went to work, I like to think of migrating to Financial Services Cloud in the same vein as a kitchen renovation, an undertaking that my wife and I just recently undertook ourselves. And so I'd encourage you to think about Sales and Service Cloud as your kitchen. Salesforce, the platform, is your house. I want you to kind of reshift your focus and think about your house today. Think about your kitchen and think about what you would do if you were doing a renovation. Now, I guess that it's probably safe to say that there's some in the crowd that envision a pretty straightforward renovation, right? Maybe we're putting some new paint on, we're replacing the backsplash, we're putting on new countertops. But I also guess to say that there's others in the crowd that have a very complex renovation in their mind, right? We're thinking about replacing the cabinets, we're replacing the tile floor, we're maybe moving the location of a faucet, and we might even be knocking down a wall to extend the space. Now, both of those scenarios that I described are both renovations, but they both require a unique approach to adequately get them to where they envision success line really being. And so as you think about then the Financial Services Cloud Transition Assessment or Assistant, it provides that same kind of level of guidance. It gives institutions that insights to understand what their kind of personal renovation would look like from a level of effort. And so the Transition Assistant really allowed us to identify some of those early insights. And really in the course of about, once FirstTrust actually gave us their access to their Salesforce developer org, we were able to run the assessment in about 20 minutes. And the advantage there was we could shift our focus then to actually developing the plan for migration. We worked with FirstTrust. We helped to take what was already built and put it into 3 categories of refine, replace, and retire. With that, we were able to really kind of move forward with that plan in place. I'm proud to say that FirstTrust just finished up their first sprint, and they'll be live on Financial Services Cloud in early December. So I'll turn it back over to Catherine. We'll talk a little bit more about, if you're interested, how you can move forward in this stuff.
Thanks, Brian. Hopefully they're happy with their renovation. I love that. Retire, refine, replace. We should all be so lucky to have that evaluation in our org, right? Okay, so what's next? If you're interested in Financial Services Cloud, if you're not sure where to go from here, if you'd like to check out the Financial Services Cloud Transition Assistant, we do have experts on site that will be here through the duration of Dreamforce. So every day, today, tomorrow, and Thursday, over at the Dreamforce Spin VIP Lounge, we've partnered with Zennify to provide experts for you to run the Transition Assistant, get more information about Financial Services Cloud, talk about what your transition journey might look like, get some insights from some experts who have been there and done that and have been in the trenches and can probably give you some advice about pitfalls to avoid and things to focus on. So again, we're going to be there the duration of Dreamforce, the next 3 days. Please scan the QR code, register, set up some time with one of our experts. We're happy to talk you through it. We're happy to give you the link and the documentation and the user guide to the Transition Assistant. You know, again, it is a free tool that we offer to our customers and partners. We encourage you to find out more information, to come visit us, share with us some drinks and some food, and you know, just kind of a place to unwind and pick the brains of the experts, because that's really what you're here for at Dreamforce, right? We've got experts here to help you. You guys are excited and interested, hopefully, in the product, and we're just, you know, excited to be here as a resource for you to help. So hopefully that's giving you guys some insight. Really want to thank you for, again, kicking off your Dreamforce with us. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your 3 days, and we hope to see you over at the VIP Lounge. Thanks.